Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to vermontitude.com, reformer.com, or BCTV. We come to you from the studios at the Innovation Box on Flat Street in Brattleboro. I'm Peter Fish Case, and I'm trying to cover topics that are areas of concern in Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Today, we're talking with Bob Audette and Chris Mays, reporters from the Brattleboro Reformer, about a bunch of different topics. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
All right. No cause eviction. I guess we'll kick this first one to Chris. Some people are liking it. Some people are disliking it. Tell us what you got on the street.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When I first came to my desk, I needed someone to explain it to me. So I talked with the organizer who submitted the petition, Marta Gossage. And it's basically to protect tenants a little bit more than they are right now. So this would allow tenants to stay in their apartment unless there was a breach of agreement, they broke state laws, or there was non-payment. It excludes the expiration of a rental agreement. And so that's kind of a sticking point for landlords because they think that's an important tool in their toolbox, end of lease, end of their relationship, they could find someone new. So,
and I think that's where sort of the sticking point occurs because people who are now maybe paying $800 a month and the landlord is realizing that they maybe could get double for it. Is that where the sort of sticking point comes in as far as evicting people?
Well, yeah, that was actually the impetus behind this whole thing. People felt like they were getting kicked out so the landlord could jack up the price of the rental unit. And so this proposal also puts a 12% cap on annual rental fees.
Right.
Which the organizers say is very generous and supporters say that too.
Okay. So there's a lot of give and take with this thing. I know we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I've written a column about it. It's sort of a confusing issue. I keep bringing it up only because I want to try to make sense of it before we get to a point where we have to vote on it.
Yeah, one of the major parts of it is the exclusion of duplexes, triplexes, and accessory dwelling units, which are basic. The basic thought behind that is it wouldn't discourage landlords who also are occupants in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Let's head right into we'll stay with Chris here. Downtown bathrooms. Now this thing is for me, it's a $425,000. Not for me personally, for the town. $425,000 expenditure on the town to put in how many units?
That would be for two.
Yeah. Two. So these things are $225,000. They're $210,000 a piece.
Yeah, one is a little bit more than the other, but yeah, that's basically right.
All right, and word on the street.
Yeah, and this issue has been going on for years. I mean, I covered the select board meetings where they approved porta potties to go downtown, and then they had troubles maintaining them. They tried a few different ways, and town staff ultimately said, This isn't good. So now they're talking about more permanent fixtures.
Okay. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a nice service. I don't know how necessary of a service it is. Have you heard anything good, bad, or indifferent about it?
Yeah, I've actually heard merchants talk about the need. There's two downtown merchants who are looking to rent a building from a private property owner and use it as a public bathroom because they see that need there.
Right.
And then I've talked with a woman who was homeless pretty recently, sleeping in the Walmart parking lot, who says this is definitely needed, and she wants to be part of the conversation in finding out solutions, whether or not that's these permanent bathrooms or just open businesses or other property owners opening their doors.
Okay, all right. So another story that has been out there are there's some of these adult children conversations in the Twin Valley over in the Deerfield Valley. That's you again.
Yeah, there's this program, and I think I'm seeing this in a lot of my education reporting. There's more of a focus these days on having the student's voice. I mean, you've probably seen on the school board meetings here in Brattleboro.
Yeah.
The people want to hear from the kids, and that's happening in Twin Valley with this new program where they have these meetings where the youth look at different data and projects and policies and weigh in, and then they facilitate meetings with staff to talk about, what they're seeing, what they're hearing, and so they actually are more active in the school planning.
I think it's good. I think it's nice. I know that Brattleboro, I believe, has a high school representative on the board itself. Is that
They have two.
They have two.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Ben Berg is one of them.
Yeah, and Kaya Colby.
Okay, so and that seems to be working out well. They the school board, the adults get to see kind of where the rubber hits the road. Is that the general thinking in the Twin Valley as well?
Yeah, and that's what's going on in the West River Education District too. They have two, I think they have two school board members, representatives, and there too, I've been covering this project-based learning where the kids are really driving their education. And it's interesting to talk to the students in these situations because it's not just, oh, hey, we're here, we're doing this. They're actually excited about what they're doing. And it makes me wish I had more of that going on when I was a student.
Yeah. Nobody ever asked me what I thought when I was a kid. So it is somewhat refreshing to see that. But so thank you for those. The Guilford audit. It's time we talk to our other Brattleboro Reformer reporter. Tell us a little bit about that Guilford audit. What's going on with that, Bob?
There was a citizen petition to authorize a professional audit of the town's finances. They do not know who initiated the petition. It got about a little more than 100 signatures, which is what they needed. But any petition has to be approved by the select board. Legally, if a petition passes the muster as to how the legislature defined petitions, they really don't have a choice. They have to put it on the ballot. But in this case, the petition wasn't written correctly. They wanted to put it on the ballot. Guilford is a floor vote town. The only thing that's on the ballot is election of town officers. So there was no ballot for them to put it on. They would have had to create a ballot. And the town already does a professional audit. They've been doing professional audits annually for 16 or 17 years. Apparently, there was some financial difficulties a couple of decades ago, and they decided we want to do a financial audit. And we're going to do it every year. So they're already doing an audit. Okay. So then why? I guess the resistance to having it put on the ballot, or is it as the feeling that it's an unnecessary step? Well, it was redundant. They're already doing a professional audit, and you can't put it on the ballot because there's no ballot to start with. Okay. They could have petitioned to have it up for a floor vote, but even then, it's redundant. You're going to pay twice for a professional audit. Whoever initiated the petition, all they have to do is talk to folks in the town hall, and they would have found that out themselves, and they would have had access to 16 years of audits if they wanted. Okay. All right. And town politics at its best, I guess. Guilford's had a subcurrent of unrest for the past couple of years now. So I think it's worth, just keeping your eye on their meetings, their regular meetings, to see what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Here in Brattleboro, in-person representative town meeting for the first time in 3 years. 3 years. Yeah. So that'll be an interesting thing. I guess they'll all gather in the gymnasium at Brattleboro Union High School and call the question live in person.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm actually really excited to cover it in person again. There were a lot of challenges with doing it virtually. Yeah. It kind of felt like some people just wanted to keep it going. Other people were just wanted to vote. And there was that push and pull kind of thing going on.
Right.
And it's hard to get a sense of what other people are feeling when you're just seeing, one or two people up on the screen, versus when you're in the room with people, you can read the room, as they say.
Yeah. No, it is true. It is Zoom meetings and things like that make it a little bit easier for people to be a little less accountable, I guess. If you're right there in a room filled with your peers, I never want to squelch anybody from saying anything, but I think it might curve it a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see as a representative town meeting person myself. I'm looking forward to it.
It's important to also recognize that it will still be broadcast live.
Right.
Anybody can watch. You don't have to go to the gym. The representatives can't vote unless they're in person now. And there are concerns about COVID and accessibility, but I think all of those concerns have been addressed. They've had school. It's in the gym.
Right.
They've got excellent HVAC there. Accessibility is fine. They already make it accessible to all sorts of students.
Yep. And
I think that it's a little disingenuous to say that you can't go there because you're disabled. I don't want to speak for disabled people, but it seems like you can make it happen. You can sit in a part of the gym where you feel safe if that's the issue. And if you don't want to go, you just can watch on TV. BCTV will be carrying it.
Right.
The town, I think, is going to make tests available too, right?
Yes, I had seen that.
Well, they have hundreds of tests at the library, according to the select board meeting. And it was a 3-2 vote where they voted twice.
Right.
And the first vote was unanimous, I believe. Because they didn't have an option. And the legislature recently passed a bill that said towns like Brattleboro could continue to do remote town meeting. Right. So they had to vote again. And it was 3-2 the second time they voted.
Right. And, with and in this era, in this stage of COVID, and nobody is denying that there's still COVID going around and it's still getting people sick, and they're still creating vaccines for it. But they're holding basketball games and they're moving on. So I think it is time. And I am one, as you are, to be sensitive to how people feel. But I think if the provisions are made, and it sounds like they are, then we should be back to doing these things in person.
And look, we're never going to COVID's going to be around.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to kill people and continue to make people sick. So it's not over.
No.
But we know the precautions.
Exactly.
We know how to keep each other safe. We've taken precautions in our public buildings. And you need to take care of your health. You need to take care of your health. You need to do whatever you need to do.
All right. Let's jump to to Peter Welch, Vermont's newest senator. Older congressperson came back to town. Mm-hmm. You covered that. Tell us what did he see? What did he do while he was here?
He went to Whitingham to visit with the Course Farm and talk about the plight of organic farmers. And then he came to Brattleboro to visit with the Winston Prouty and learn what they do at the Child Care and Family Development Center up there, and also learn about their plans to develop 300 homes, 300 apartments, 300 housing units, workforce, affordable housing, all sorts of different levels. It's a grand idea. Chloe Leary is a force of nature.
She really is.
I think that Winston Prouty and Brattleboro is lucky to have her. And I think that expressing what they're looking for with Peter, our new senator, maybe he can work on what we call now congressionally directed spending, or what we used to call our earmarks.
Right.
I know people have an issue with earmarks. I don't. I want a representative or senator to bring the bacon home.
Yeah.
I want that money to come to us, and I want it to be for good things. And I think that what they're doing at Winston Prouty is exceptional. And I'm glad that Senator Welch was there to hear about it.
Senator Welch. It's going to take me a few turns to get used to saying that, but I think it's a good thing.
And and having a rep that's been in Congress for a while too, it's a little different. He said it's a little more collegial in the Senate. Staff's bigger, but he knows the levers. He's been there for a while. He has staff already in place. So it's not like he's a newbie in Congress. So that's a benefit to the state as well.
He's got some tenure on the Hill there.
Some cred.
That is good.
As the kids say these days.
As the kids say. All right, let's close it out sort of on a fun note. Windham County's got talent.
Yeah, I really enjoy this event. it's like a big talent show, basically, right?
Yeah.
And the winner gets $1,000, and people of all different kinds of arts and performance come out to the Latches and do their thing, you know.
Right. So it was fun. We were both there. I got called in as a last second judge, and it's a little nerve wracking. And especially when you get to the end and you have to choose your favorite when they're all really, really good. But it was a great event, a fun event, and looking forward to doing it next year again.
Yeah.
So, guys, thanks for Can we help you there? Sorry. Thanks for jumping on the program.
You're welcome.
Thank you.